So, Chaos Divers, in light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion of Rogue 5, this Council of Factions has convened to approve the activation of the Avenger Project. You have been chosen to participate in this initiative if you are hearing this message, to contribute to our first and last line of defense. Your efforts will have considerable influence on this war's future. We urge you to keep that in mind as you proceed. Good luck, Chaos Diver. So, today's top news is strange. Get this, my friends. The Ministry of Truth has offered me an olive branch. No, they don't want me to try my paw at being Minister of Truth again. They know that I'm wise to that trick and won't fall for it a second time. But even the Truth Enforcers Division has to know the cold, hard fact that, well, without me and my work, Super Earth would probably still be on fire. Apparently, watching me fight is inspirational to the troops, and I rank in the top few percentile of surviving Helldivers in the Liberation Fleet. Well, after a year of constant warfare, I ought to be pretty good at it. Same thing with script writing and editing tricks. So, the MOT wants me to record more of my dives, set them to music, most recently K-pop in this case, and distribute them among the Liberation Fleet in order to encourage the rookies. Granted, I was already doing that, but it was more of a hobby than anything else. Arrowhead R&D is doing something similar with their community order, where they are taking recordings of your best, most explosive displays of patriotism. The more firepower you use, the more democratic the display and the happier the brass. I went ahead and submitted my K-pop Squid Hunters video for consideration. Probably not the short-form content that AH was going for, but there weren't any rules specifically saying that I couldn't do that. Besides, Arrowhead wants to use this stuff in their social media, and if they can dodge the copyright attached to the music, watching me trash aquatic bozos would probably help a lot with recruitment. Something that I have been practicing is bullseyeing harvesters right in their eye socket with anti-material rifles or railguns. Being able to smoke these losers in one shot from across the map is pretty darn satisfying, and the squads of randoms that I run with certainly appreciate my skill set. It's not exactly easy to do. The target that I'm aiming for is the size of an orange, and in order to hit it, it has to be looking directly at me, and that's where the laser comes out. So basically, we're playing a game of chicken, and whoever explodes first loses. But yeah, this little community order could be fun, but let's be honest here. Critical Hit Ventures is likely going to win, and it sounds like Arrowhead wants more spectacle than combat prowess. I don't really engage in pageantry, and I don't play games. I put bad guys in the dirt in industrial quantity, and I win campaigns. Is it glamorous? Not really, but I know the Unlimited are fluffing terrified of me, which is nice. It keeps them in their own yards. There is a rule stipulation here that no AI-made productions will be used in any part in the creative process if you want to participate in the community order, which meant that I was not able to speak or showing alien scumbags the business. It basically cut off about half the script. But even if I don't win this, or even get acknowledged in any way, that's totally fine. As I said, I don't engage in pageantry, and I dislike it when people put me up on a pedestal. Arrowhead is hosting something that looked fun, and I wanted to participate. That's it. Now, as you might already know, yes, we did win the most recent major order, but all we really accomplished is smearing some squids. Not that kind of thing isn't fun, but we discovered precious little information on what they were actually doing out there. Helldivers aren't the best when it comes to leaving enemy combatants alive for questioning. High Command has since come out with a new major order. This one to prepare for Liberty Day. Yep, it's that time of year again. We are tasked with the liberation of Marfark and Zosma, continuing on our currently ongoing trend of retaking territory stolen from us during the recent Menage a Threat triple species offensive. Allegedly, the purpose of this is to liberate explosives for various pyrotechnical displays. Really not the most ostentatious major order that I've ever partaken in. There was that whole thing with Charity Park last year, and Charity Park 2 this year. You'd think they learned that lesson, but no, they don't. This next major order will conclude 9:30 a.m. October 20th, Super Earth Eastern Standard Democratic Time, and as the following victory conditions. Liberate Marfark and Zosma, as I said prior. Now, I should also mention that the gloom has been spreading. It's just been so subtle and slow that I barely noticed it. So far, Estanu, Partion, and Esker have been mired in the gloom. The bugs tried to take Ursica, but the brave divers of the TQZ weren't going to let that happen, and the vile roaches from under the fridge got the taste of democracy's righteous backhand. As an aside, in preparation for Liberty Day, the airburst rifle has been made available to all Helldivers regardless of other loadout choices. Not my personal favorite. This thing is so cursed. Its primary function is reducing Helldivers to bags of shredded cheese by accident, so I am somewhat less than thrilled by this. So let's jump back to the thing that I was talking about a second ago. What exactly is the Avenger Project? No, it doesn't have anything to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is the armed vanguard for expeditionary naval galactic engagement and response. It is also the name of this supercarrier that I've been spending the last 6 months constructing within the safety of Angel's Refuge. It can host several 100,000 divers at any given time and has logistic capacities to rival that at the DSS. Heck, I think this thing has enough guns on it that it should give even the worst attitudes among the Element Void Fleet their check at the Celestial Diner post-haste. And by that, I mean that it should kill them. I told you before, I don't engage in pageantry. I don't play games. War? That's when you kill so many of the enemy team that they are unable to fight you anymore. And that is what the Avenger Project is meant to do. Capital ship-sized directed plasma turrets are no joke. Some Chaos Divers wanted to name this supercarrier a Dalchi, but it roughly translates to the same thing. Now, did I make this thing specifically in mind for hosting Chaos Diver operations? No, I did not. I didn't even run this by the Council of Five before I started picking up survivors, but it's not like they're really in a position to tell me no now. Now, what I originally meant for this thing to do was to act as a mobile fleet support base that could provide for refugees just in case we ended up losing that fight for Super Earth and everybody needed to find a new place to live. Providing logistics support for the CDs while they work to retake Rogue 5? Child's play. This thing makes the Bringer of Mercy look like a bath toy. To any Chaos Divers out there who can hear this, we are not licked yet. You might have lost the initial fight, but I'm pretty darn good at waging campaigns of resistance. We'll take back Rogue 5 and make these alien mucky fluffers remember our names. The question isn't how far we're willing to go. The question is, do you have the ability to take this campaign as far as needed?